Well, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to be covering something that is obviously not that misunderstood and, well, just plain obvious. And of course, if you are like me, the same about this, well, I don't have to tell you. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Zach again, and right now we're going to be talking about the impossibility of buying a PlayStation 5 and what that means to both you and I who may not have received one. So, this article coming from Business Insider, it's not just you, it's still nearly impossible to buy a PlayStation 5. Yeah, I understand that because I can still go over to Target, Walmart, Best Buy, wherever the heck it may be, and there is zero ability to get any of this. To get any games really, to get a controller. Basically everything is still pretty much sold out. And of course, if you don't care, I completely understand. However, of course, if you're the one person who's still desperately trying to get a PlayStation 5, Godspeed to you. I hope that you're able to get one. If you already have one, yay! Good on you. But of course, for the rest of us, we're still a little salty about the whole situation. So anyway, let me go ahead and we'll get in. But the truth be told on this, for my experience, from my personal whole thing here, yeah, I'm not exactly happy with Sony. I was very PO'd with Walmart and all the distributors, all the supermarket things, whatever you want to call them, I don't care. And the thing is, just disappointed. Because the truth is, Sony, whether it's Japan, Sony America, it really doesn't matter. The point is, they knew they were going to launch this a couple years before it actually got launched. And the truth about it is, as I've told several other people, is that they didn't even bother to take the time to sit down to appropriate a meeting and to even try. They just didn't even bother. They absolutely slacked off and drugged their own butts for years and didn't even care to do anything about it. They knew, but again, I think that's going to play into the article somewhere. So let's see what Business Insider has to say about it. All right. So we got our wonderful little points here. It's been over 5 months since the PlayStation 5 launched, and it's still very difficult to buy. Well, I don't know why. Why could it be difficult to grab a PlayStation 5? Or just about anything else for that matter, any of the wonderful stuff or the bundles over on, I think it's called ant.com. Why is it? It's because Sony dragged their feet and didn't care to get started on the process faster. And that is why. However, it's not just Sony. It's also the distributors. It's also the people that were allowed to have bots to take over and to just do whatever they wanted. And again, of course, it is Walmart's fault, as it is Target's fault, Best Buy's fault, anywhere. And it's really sad to say that the only store whose fault it is not is located in the Midwest, Myers, who actually had a queue system set up on the night, and I went to Myers. Of course, the only bad part was that I couldn't get it delivered. Still a little mad on that one. But ultimately, it's because people were not ready. People didn't care to be ready. And that's on you, Sony. So I'm going to keep going anyway. So, despite regular restocking, which is a joke, PS5 consoles sell out instantly through Sony and major chains. I still wonder why. Supply of the console isn't expected to meet demand until this fall at the earliest, Sony said. And I guarantee you, it's still not going to be fast enough. And of course, Business Insider, when PlayStation 5 launched in fall 2020, it was nearly impossible to find. 5 months later, with spring just days away, Sony's wildly popular game console remains as elusive as ever. That is because, to this day, right now, they are still doing the freaking drops. And it would be absolutely wonderful if they would stop doing the drops. Look, I get it. I understand if you're like me, you probably want to get a hold of it through online. Maybe the retailers and the distributors, they don't think it's safe enough. But the point is this. Obviously, everybody wants one. That's just the big thing when you're selling something like this. It doesn't matter if it's a new phone, console, whatever. Granted, yes, I do understand that the PlayStation, as well as the new Xbox, as well as another console, which I'm going to mention in the very end of this video, is very important to a lot of young men and women, some older men and women too, that care about gaming as much as little old me does, and several of you do. But at the same time, it is still important to provide a product to your customer. And I'm sorry, but if you were like me and you were there online last year, those nights in November, December, sleepless nights, and you were waiting. You were waiting online to hit that buy button. You were waiting to get in. And guess what? You never could. You could never get in. And if you were like me, and you had that wonderful console sitting in the freaking cart thing, well, guess what? It got yanked right out of my cart, and that's thanks to bots. And you see, those bots should have never been allowed. Anyway, I'll go ahead and continue here. Though resupplies have been frequent, demand for the PS5 continues to vastly outstrip supply, and when the resupplies do go live, people overwhelm digital storefronts in a mad dash to maybe, hopefully, finally get a PlayStation 5. Now, again, on that front, I understand people are going to use the riots as an excuse. I don't really see them as an excuse, but I can kind of understand that point. But again, you really wouldn't have to worry had you already planned ahead, years ahead. You could have made more than enough to resupply, restock, all that good stuff. And again, I understand that a lot of people might say, yeah, but Zach, aren't those parts a little expensive? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if Sony and all them wonderful little game developers keep putting in the freaking, whatever they're called, what is it, the mini buy things, you have to buy stuff to get stuff, or pay to win, whatever it's called, microtransactions. If they keep doing that, which people are still buying to this day, which if you're doing that, stop. Just do me that little favor. Stop with the microtransactions. Stop buying them. Stop being a part of them. Please stop. But the point is, if they keep doing that, they're going to make their money back anyway. And the truth is, Sony, as an entirety, what are you talking about? They have money coming out of their hinders. What do you mean they don't have the ability to rebuild and restock? They have the ability to put out multiple thousands of units. No big deal. I know they can. You can't say they can't. Now, during a 3-hour PS5 resupply marathon that Walmart spaced out in 10-minute intervals, which was a complete freaking disaster, on Thursday, Insider repeatedly encountered errors or crashes while trying to purchase the console. Well, when you have over hundreds of thousands of people who don't have a PS5 who are trying to literally crowd your system, seriously, if it were in store, I'd hate to say it, it would be a freaking fire hazard. For crying out loud, everybody would be trying to rush in to get their freaking thing. People... oh, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm defeating my purpose, my whole point here. But at the same time, it's infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. So the item couldn't be added to the cart. Or the website would hang while trying to load. Happened to me as well. Or it simply did nothing after clicking an input. Each time, even when the website did technically work, the same result, the resupply sold out instantly. And this... trying to calm myself down here. This is the same thing that happened to me multiple times over this instance of trying to get what I could. And of course, I actually had the PlayStation 5 in my cart twice. And just before checkout, gone. It was, I believe it was legitimately yanked out of my cart, possibly by a bot at the last minute. I was right there. I was so close. Now, I understand that there will be people who are going to say that they were never as close as I was, never came close. And to you, I apologize. And you know what? I'll even go a step further, and I will apologize on behalf of frickin' Walmart and Sony and the rest of them for you not having that availability or that chance. And for those of you who came close as I did, I still apologize to you because, you know, if you really wanted it and you really wanted to go for it, I do apologize. And the bad part is, for some of you, you weren't trying to get that console or the Xbox for yourselves. You were trying to get it as a gift for a family member or a child, a favored child of yours. And if that didn't happen, and I do apologize if somebody's Christmas was ruined, that was, I did think about that myself too, and I was a little like, how's that going to go down? And I do apologize if you are a parent who you were really trying to make your son or daughter or kids happy last Christmas with this console, and it didn't pan out. And I do apologize. And I'll apologize on behalf of Sonny on that too. All right, so this is a quote. I was able to add the PS5 to my cart, lucky you, get all the way to the payment method, and then it said item out of stock, and that happened a multitude of times to other people who were even closer to supplying the bag, whatever, to getting the PS5, and it would happen to them. Another Twitter user says, none of it is working. I keep trying, and it doesn't want to let me get in the cart. And that did happen as well. But you see, that comes from multitudes of people flooding this page at the same time, which was the biggest issue of all. People were flooding the page, they were crashing the page, and if you so much as tried to hit that refresh button, don't even bother. PlayStation, gone. Completely gone. So, let's continue. Those same errors and near instant sellouts persisted in 10-minute intervals throughout the 3 hours of PS5 stock resupplies on Walmart's web store. Beyond the technical issues retailers are having and the overwhelming demand from consumers for Sony's latest PlayStation console, many are still being swept up by the resellers, meaning the bots who took these consoles to people who really did want them, to use them, to keep them, and are now the ones who are reselling them on eBay for over $999, all the way up to $1,080, if not more. Okay, I'm sorry, but can we pump the brakes right there for just a second? These people are not even playing. They're not even doing anything with it. They're buying it to immediately resell it. And I'm sorry, I don't know about you, but in my opinion, that should be illegal straight up. 100%. You yank it away from somebody so quickly, and then you try to scam somebody? Come on. No, not for me. Beyond the technical issues retailers are having, overwhelming demand for consumers, oh yeah, about the bots and the human buyers. A quick look at resale websites like StockX demonstrates why resellers are offering the PS5 for about $730 as of this week, just shy of a 50% markup over the $500 retail price of a PS5 model with a Blu-ray disc drive. The point is, overcharging, scamming you to get extra money that, let's face it, they're trying to scam you into believing that this machine, it's made of gold and cubic zirconium and rare earth metals. It's not. It really never was. I know you know this. I know this. But the truth is, it's just scamming money out of you. Basically, if I were to compare it to anything, it's like a hostage negotiation situation. And the bad part is, you just lose more money for an inanimate object. It's not even a person. Granted, you're not paying $1 billion for it, but it's still the fact that it's still a lot of money. So, let's see. What else to say? Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like Sony will be able to catch up with demand anytime soon. Oh, no. In several interviews in late February, PlayStation boss Jim Ryan warned of an ongoing supply issue continued through the second half of 2021. So, by the time we get to the second half of the year, you're going to see really decent numbers indeed. I doubt that. In February. Though the company has, quote, been relentless in terms of trying to increase production, unquote, he said, some obstacles are out of the company's hands. Like being a bunch of lazy individuals who just said, to heck with it. Oh yeah, out of my hands. Yeah. Oh, and don't even try to use COVID as an excuse. I don't want to hear that as an excuse. That is a lame excuse, and Sony knows it, as well as Walmart, Best Buy, Target, all of them. They know that that's a lame excuse, and they should never ever try to use that. I don't want to hear it. Period. The global microchip shortage and the ongoing global pandemic are both impacting Sony's abilities to produce more PS5s, for instance, but Ryan said the supply situation, quote, will start to get better, hopefully quite quickly, unquote. Okay, so to sum up this article in just hopefully a few short words, you're not going to get a PlayStation 5 possibly until the end of this year. Stop trying to do the online thing. It's not going to work. Because the point in case is, guess what? Your resellers have now tasted blood. And what the resale predator wants more than anything else is to simply use whatever money that he gained from this, what should be illegal transaction, scam transaction, of taking all these hundreds of thousands or thousands of dollars if somebody paid that much for it. Basically, they're just going to buy it again with their bots, or they will probably do it in person if they can, which I'm sure they'll try to worm their way around the system. But basically, they're just going to go straight back in again. They're going to snatch up another one if possible, and then they're going to resell that one. You see, that's the problem with a lot of these cyber crimes. Listen, the moment you're hacker, the moment you're bot maker, the moment your virus developer, the moment they get a taste of that blood, the moment they know they have an in, do you think they're going to stop? Why? If I knew that I had the ability to simply just swipe whatever I wanted to out of that digital stock, decrease that surplus, just to spite somebody else, and then try to resell it for 50 to 100, even 150% more, why would I stop? You got to understand. And plus, if you, the consumer, if you come onto my site and you buy that good from me, why would I stop? Why would I ever want to think about stopping? It's not until the hand of the law comes down that I then say, okay, you got me. But even then, I'm going to try to slip under the wire some more and try to steal whatever I can, or, well, not steal, but, take it and then try to resell. But even then, aside from that point, it's just the fact that Sony really, really royally screwed up. Walmart is the same thing, and I don't want to hear any excuses about the bug. I don't want to hear any excuses about that nonsense. That is a lame excuse, and they knew better. They had years, and they said, nope, we're going to wait till last minute. And unfortunately, it's gotten so many people mad. And you know how else I know it was last minute too? With all the crashes, with all of these wonderful little consoles that were sold. Oh, and also, if you got a faulty console, sorry. I do apologize about that. And actually, all those comments that I was reading on many YouTube videos about being the first to buy a first edition console was a mistake were true. All the consoles were coming back bad. Whether it was fans, chip malfunctions, whether it was the controllers, for some reason, even though they praised the controller would somehow break or stick, or something bad would happen. Maybe some cables came back, or if you were one of the lucky ones to have an Amazon driver steal it right out of the box from you, woohoo! Wasn't it just a fun year? Wasn't last year fun? I think last year was fun. I love last year. Oh, yes, another one. Point is, corporate. Point is, Sony failed miserably, and I don't think anybody can disagree. If you manage to get if you manage to get a PlayStation 5, because I can't speak, congratulations. I really hope you got one that wasn't faulty or destroyed anything more than itself, if it did fault or if it did have an error. And of course, I do apologize to you if you got a PS5 that bricked, because, and I'd hate to think that somebody, not a reseller, but somebody who genuinely wanted to play this, maybe you did manage to get 2 or 3 for your kids for Christmas last year. I would really hate to think that it bricked up on you, all 3 of them. And, you know, that's something that I've never heard of yet, but it's a possibility that it could have happened with all the first edition consoles. So, truth be told, in this situation, you're not going to see a PS5 for quite a good while. And it's sad to say, but there is something, there is kind of hope at the end of the tunnel. Well, I hope there's hope at the end of the tunnel. It's a console that's coming out. It's kind of been referred to as a meme, a joke. I haven't really heard word back yet about it. I'm really hoping to hear word soon. You probably heard of the KFC console that will be supposedly coming out. Now, KFC had made word about it, and there was an article that they said they were very serious about it. They were going to go for it, and I really kind of hope they do. Now, is it possible for something like this to happen again with the KFC console? The probability is high if they try to do it online, but it's kind of a 50-50 situation. We'll have to see. But truth be told, I think that if KFC does fulfill their word, does go forward with it, I really do think that there will be something good to come of it. And I know I myself, if I don't get a PS5, even though maybe one day I will, I'm still pretty angry at them right now. But ultimately, I am looking forward to the KFC console as a tech review for me, and ultimately to play games on for you, if you'd care to watch a gameplay thing from little old me. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. And just to state one more thing, don't bother. I understand that that's going to come as a very contrary thing to some of you, but the truth is, you're just going to be wasting your time. And on top of which, I don't want you to have to go through what I went through, what a boatload of other people on here have said, or even out on social media. I don't want you to have to go through that, because it's very infuriating. It's very frustrating. The drops that happened last year at early morning in the hours, you know, your eyes are burning out of your skull and you feel like you want to hurt somebody, mainly yourself. You know, yeah, it's not a feeling that anybody wants. It's not a feeling that anybody needs. So honestly, just stop. Just don't bother. And if I could say one more thing, rethink your purchase, please. Keep in mind what happened. Keep in mind what happened, because remember, many of you know the saying, vote with your wallet. Keep that in mind, because the truth is, I understand that you, as well as I, wanted the PS5, and maybe we never got it. But think about this. If you put your money forth to this console, do you think you would be telling Sony that what they did was a good thing? Do you think that you would be telling them that this whole very scandalous uproar was the bestest thing to happen ever? Just something to think about. But if you want to buy one, if you feel like you want to continue this, you can, but I would just not waste my time. And I would thoroughly wait until it is actually physically on a shelf, and even then reconsider some things before really putting that money to it. It's very important, especially if you know or you believe that what happened is something to be very mad about still. And, well, maybe you just want to send a professional message to Sony. And that is to vote with your wallet. And if you vote no, good on you. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for little old me. And I am going to be doing one more video today. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in watching my gameplay, so it should be on YouTube, the full length thing. I didn't edit anything out. You can also check it out on Rumble. It's Ori and the Blind Forest. If you'd like to watch it, it's up right now. This video is also going to be posted on BitChute. So if you're watching this on BitChute, if you'd like to see Ori and the Blind Forest gameplay through, you might have to go over to my channel on YouTube, or you can go over to Rumble. I'm on there. Just remember, it's Tech with a K, not an H, on Rumble. So, and you can watch Ori and the Blind Forest over there, and of course I'm going to post some videos over there. Right now it's really back and forth. I'm trying to wrap my mind around things. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next vid. Go check out Ori and the Blind Forest. You might actually like it. Might be a nice little throwback to a time when games weren't so... well, when times in general weren't so... All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for me right now. Sorry for the long-winded talk, and I'll see you in the next one. And as always, I'm Zach, signing off.